Hey everybody, welcome to the Herd Fit Podcast with Dr. Sam Marie and myself, Coach David Syvertson. This podcast is aimed at helping anyone and everyone looking to enhance their healthy lifestyle through fitness, nutrition, and most importantly, mindset.
All right, welcome back to the Herd Fit Podcast. I'm Coach David Syvertson. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. and Coach Sam Marie, and we have an interesting topic today coming in today. There's a lot of information about this that we don't know yet, so we're going to kind of, to quote Sam, spitball a little bit. But as an affiliate owner, this is something that caught my attention, and very few things catch my attention like this, and it's Nike. Nike recently came out with their own fitness equipment line. First time in, I think, over 5 decades they've been in business. They have not been in fitness equipment at all. Golf clubs, clothing, shoes, but actual equipment that we have in the room next to us at CrossFit Bison, this is a first. And now they're coming out with group fitness studios and running studios. And they have Nike trainers. They have a lot of money. They have a huge brand. People follow Nike like they follow the Bible. Right? With some of the big athletes that endorse them and follow them, they are a huge brand. I don't even think many people understand how big Nike is. And the fact that they're making such an aggressive move all of a sudden, out of nowhere, to me, I didn't know anything about this. Like, I almost had to look at it on Instagram. I was like, wait, is this a fake account that's putting this information out? So they're coming out, they have barbells, dumbbells, plates, kettlebells, benches, dip machines, basically a lot of what you would see in a CrossFit gym. A lot of the stuff that we use here. And Sam, when you saw that, let's start off with the equipment first. What was your reaction to it? And did you go down any sort of, as we call them, rabbit holes with the fact that they're coming out fitness equipment?
Yeah. If you wanted to say the sky is falling, you could say that for CrossFit. You could say, look, they're eating Rogue's lunch. They're going to eat CrossFit's lunch. This is the monster that's going to envelop us, and eat everything, take over market share. They're going to open up these fitness studios. They're going to compete with boxes. They're going to be selling their own fitness equipment. The sky is falling. That would be my first scary thought, I guess, with this.
And the other side of it is, like, as an affiliate owner, I kind of want to see their stuff. Like, I want to see if it's any good. I'm sure it is good. But I'm also kind of a loyal person, even to a fault. Like, I'll buy something from Rogue, even when it's more expensive than from another company, because I want to support Rogue. And I think they're a great company, American company. If you get into all this like international trade stuff, where Nike makes all their material. That's going to be part of the angle as a gym owner. Do we want to look into their equipment? But what would you do if you came here and all of a sudden you started seeing Nike barbells and Nike plates? And would you care? I mean, I know you're a coach here and you're a very involved coach, but as a member, would that be something that you kind of like raise your eyebrows to, or it's just like, new stuff?
Sell out. No. Well, you bought True Grit boxes, and that was after they sponsored Legends.
Yep.
And they were awesome. Yep. You also bought Your Land mats.
Yep.
So I don't have a problem with the brand per se. I know you buy products for the companies you want to support.
Right.
If they sponsor competitions that are good, that you like, that, sort of give back to us, then you're going to give back to them. And that's sort of been, I think every affiliate owner should do that. You should buy from the companies that you feel are supporting you, your affiliate, your brand, your business.
Right. And, again, like you said, I did make a couple of equipment orders from True Grit, which we did here. Never mind. We're not going to say anything about that.
Right.
Your Land. And again, we were supporting them because they supported something that I feel really passionate about, and it's master sport. And I met them at Legends. And I said, hey, I'll put a big order in for you guys. And they were great. But I'm still 90% Rogue, and again, they have my loyalty. They have Bison's loyalty, and Chris feels the same way. But we're going to be meeting a new equipment vendor out in Tempe at Legends this year. And we're in the market for some new boxes. And and I do want to talk to them. They have a very specific kind of soft/hard box that we're in the market, we're searching for right now, and we're having a hard time finding. That I'll go down that same path. So Nike, I don't really have any affiliation with them. I actually don't even like their shoes. They don't fit well with my feet. Don't have a lot of Nike stuff. But I would, if they reached out to us or they supported something that we do, like let's say they came and sponsored our open party, our 10-year anniversary party in February, and they wanted to like let us see some things. And like 2IR, when they came out for our open party, we had a lot of people buy their shoes, right?
Yeah, I bought 2 pairs.
I would be all about it because I think that competition is a good thing. If anything, I think this should make Rogue maybe almost double down on some of the processes and equipment. Not going to throw them under the bus too much, but I've gotten some stuff from Rogue for the gym over the past 6 months, and I've had other people say the same thing, members and coaches. It's not what it used to be. Like simple stuff. Our rollers, we had like 11 rollers pop after we bought them from there. The red bands and green bands are snapping. The chalk is different. So is that a business that's getting bigger that can't handle the growth and some of their quality is going down? Maybe. And I think that Nike coming into the market could easily, it's like a gym opening up down the street. It makes you check your own processes a little bit and be like, hey, could we be doing something a little bit better? Noble, they're struggling, right? They just laid off a huge portion of their workforce.
Yep.
They're still around. They still have a huge contingent of games athletes that support their stuff, but they're definitely, not on the rise. From my perspective, do you see the Noble CrossFit Games ever becoming the Nike CrossFit Games?
I don't think so. I think Nike looks like they want to do their thing. And their fitness studios, their running, their training programs, I can't see them ever wanting to go niche. They would rather just, I think, do their thing. That's my guess.
Matt Frazier, Noah Olson, Sarah Sigmundsdottir, Laura Horvath, and a growing list of CrossFitters are Nike athletes. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to enter the CrossFit space, but they're in it. And I view this equipment and the fact that they're sponsoring these athletes, they're trying to enter the CrossFit space. I think they're trying to make a name for themselves. I do believe it's a long shot to think that they would ever be the title sponsor because it looks like they're going to become a direct competitor to Rogue, and Rogue is like in tight with CrossFit and Castro
forever.
Like, I don't see that bond ever fracturing as long as these people are in leadership, which CrossFit leadership has had changes every 2 years. So who knows who's going to be at the top in 2-3 years from now. But what about the fitness studios? I want to introduce this and then talk about my sky is falling idea in relation to CrossFit gyms. Here's the write-up from their website. These are fitness studios, Nike training, they call it. Group fitness classes featuring fun and challenging workouts led by Nike trainers that meet your evolving needs. A pretty good motto there.
Mm-hmm.
And where are they starting? California, Santa Monica, Newport Beach, West Hollywood. And Tegan from Morning Chalk Up, love her work. She put in her article that there are some Austin, Texas teasers being thrown out there. So they're definitely going to expand. And it's funny, it almost sounds like this is the inception of CrossFit. This is where it started, West Coast, California. And I remember Joey Dill telling me years ago, he goes, whatever West Coast CrossFit is into, and they're like a year ahead of East Coast. So just pay attention. So there's something about West Coast fitness, and I've been out there a few times. You have too. It is a much more active lifestyle out there. So they're trendsetters is what I'm trying to get at. They're going to be making their way out here at some point to the East Coast, these Nike training studios, as long as they get some traction out there. They're $149 per month, which is pretty standard for a gym that is offering group fitness. There's a couple gyms in our area that are boot campy. They don't have a lot of equipment. Programming isn't as diverse, or I should say complex. And that's, $150 to $200 a month is usually where most of them reside. So I don't think they're trying to undercut the market. Their barbell prices are right in line with Rogue. I mean, that's just, I don't think there's anything to read into there. But if these things start popping up, there's 2 questions I want to ask you. Do you feel this is going to be a competitor like Orange Theory F45 to CrossFit gyms?
I looked at the Newport Beach location,
Okay.
and I looked at their schedule and their trainers and what they're doing. Let me throw that in, and then you can
do
sort
that.
of see,
Absolutely, yeah.
compare that to, say, maybe what we're doing at our gym.
Yep.
So they're actually starting on the 15th. And so their daily class schedule, Monday through Friday, will be 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8:30, a noon class, and then a 5:15 and a 6:30 evening class. That's Monday through Friday.
So seven classes
One,
a day?
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 classes a day.
Okay.
On Saturday, they have 3 classes, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. And then on Sunday, they have 2 classes, 9:30 and 10:30.
What are they on our website?
I know. It's like, I was like, wow, this sounds a lot like a Bison sort of thing. Except we actually have more classes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
That's
So
a pretty typical CrossFit gym schedule.
to me, it struck me very much like a CrossFit gym schedule.
Yep.
They have 3 types of classes. They have what's called a force class, which is starting on Monday. It says, power through every rep of this strength-focused workout that features classic hinging and pushing movements, along with an upbeat mix of athletic conditioning exercises. Primary muscles, hamstring, glutes, chest, triceps, primary movements, deadlifts, shoulder presses, push-ups, hip thrusters.
So they're not really releasing workouts. They're just telling you kind of what you're working.
That's the force day. That's, whatever, on Wednesdays or whatever it is, Friday, Thursdays.
Okay.
The max day is take your strength to the max with a challenging mix of squats and pulling, and keep the energy high with heart-pumping conditioning work. Muscles, backs, quads, glutes, biceps, movements, squats, lunges, rows, pull-ups. That's a max day. And then their Metcon day is all in the name, improve your capacity, burn calories, blah, blah, blah. Inspired by our signature training shoe.
Of course.
Right. Primary muscles, full body, movements, jumps, swings, rotations, agility drills. So they have 3 types of days.
Okay. And is it always like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
I don't know. I just saw the class. They only released the class schedule this week. They're starting Wednesday.
Right.
It's Metcon Wednesday, Force Thursday, Max Friday, Metcon Saturday. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
So those are sort of what they're doing. So to me, it strikes me as less, more corporate-y, more vanilla, more Barry's Boot Camp than it is CrossFit. Like, it's more like, and the trainers, one of them is an LA Rams cheerleader professional dancer. Other one was a former Soul Cycle fitness trainer who now trains at like Lifetime Fitness. Another one is a, quote, entertainer, sports coach, dancer, yoga, personal trainer, dance fitness guy. And all of them are like very beautiful looking people.
Of course.
Like totally like what you might see on a fitness ad.
Yep.
Right? So to me, this is, 1, super LA looking. 2, very sort of, watered down.
ChatGPT wrote all of that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if an AI had to write a fitness program and like have a fitness studio, this is sort of what it would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Super airbrushed. I don't really know how that will translate into our fitness space.
Yep.
I just don't. I mean, I could see it working with the Newport Beach crowd and all these guys, but like when you come into Sioux City, Iowa and open up a Nike training studio, like, you know what? It's really just going to be Bill who was at like 24 Hour and someone else who's like, kind of opening it, and you know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, I know what you're saying. That the crowd is going to be very select.
Right. So I feel like if they want to keep the super glitz stuff, they're just going to have a few iconic studios like in New York, in Manhattan, in Miami, in, how Reebok used to have CrossFits?
Yeah.
And they were sort of the flagships, like these super glitzy, nice ones.
Attached to like a retail store, and that's where they made most of their money.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, I can't see Nike opening up like 5,000 affiliates across the country.
Franklin Lakes, New Jersey kind of thing.
Right.
So, I mean, so even for the gyms that are in these areas right now, there's a lot of gyms in Santa Monica, Newport Beach, West Hollywood, CrossFits, right? This is a question that we always ask ourselves as a staff. I'm thinking about this all the time. Even with, again, competition's not a bad thing. I always like to welcome it because I think it makes us better. but this is probably more in the genre of Orange Theory Fitness.
Yeah.
What a Nike training studio will be. I mean, they're going to have barbells and dumbbells, so probably the programming will be different. And I always ask myself, all right, what do we do different, or what can we do different to just make sure we know and they know, and the people that are trying to decide between the two, they're not the same. You're going to like this one or that one, but you're not going to have to pick between the two because they're not the same. And I have 4 really things that kind of have us stand out from a Nike training studio, which we don't know much about, or something that's a group fitness class that is not CrossFit. Trainer credentials. Okay. CrossFit is trying really hard right now to push education. Hey, everyone should get L1. Everyone should get L2. Everyone should get L3. Why don't you have your L4 yet? Right? And I'd be lying if I said, like, in the back of my head, I'm saying I should probably be getting my L3 next time I'm up, my recert, which, it could be a process, right? To study for the test. It's a little bit tougher to do. And I know a couple other CrossFit coaches here have said the same thing. I listen to Best Hour of Their Day sometimes with Jason Ackerman and Fernandez, and I think he's going to have like 4 or 5 L4s on his staff, which is, pretty impressive. I'm not one to, put on my back wall what credentials I have and my everything that I've graduated from, or all these accomplishments that I have. I do think in some industries, fitness being one of them, that can get overrated, but a CrossFit credential, it means something. Not because you're the most educated, intelligent person in the world, but you can really understand CrossFit in that way and teach some of these movements. I mean, I know trainers that have every, certification under the moon, and could tell you every muscle group and every function in the body. They can't teach you a deadlift.
I would say I have a counterpoint. So, yeah, the NSAM, like CPT qualifications and all that, are useless.
Right.
But getting your L1, and we've seen this. So I would say the floor and the ceiling for CrossFit training certification is both lower and higher.
Absolutely. Great point.
So we've seen many CrossFit boxes where their training is abysmal. And then we've seen many CrossFit boxes or some where the training is unparalleled and definitely the best in the business. There's no doubt. So what CrossFit's trying to do is raise the floor and be like, let's get rid of the really bad training and push everyone higher so that we can get to where we should be, which is where they are truly knowledgeable about fitness training, which I truly believe if you are a really experienced, good CrossFit trainer who has the credentials and has the experience, you're going to be better than anyone else out there.
I agree.
But the problem is that we're not there from the bottom, like, part of it.
Yeah, getting your L1 does not mean much.
No, and
it can mean something, doesn't mean much. Doesn't mean you're ready to rock.
Right. And so my question is when do we get to a point where you would say, hey, Brock, you can go to, anywhere and drop into a gym and have a pretty good experience. Right now, it's like you got to do a little bit of background research. And
coin flip, if not worse.
Right. And so CrossFit has a huge burden or their responsibility right now, and they're working on it. They're trying to try to elevate that.
Programming, I mean, and I'm trying to think. The programming within CrossFit, it probably will not be that different than Nike Force and Nike Metcon, right? But I like to see what the workouts are. I really want to see, before I really pass big judgment on these Nike studios and if they're worth the time of day, I want to see the workouts. And you know how I am with programming. But I don't want to just see, a hinge and a pull and full body triceps and lats. I don't like that kind of stuff because it just makes me think about a Globo Gym. I had a guy like using cables and like a leg extension machine, which again, I'm not against, but that's not really what we're going for here at CrossFit. I would love to see the programming. I think CrossFit can combat any sort of competition with their programming if it's done properly. Again, great illustration on the ceiling being higher and the floor being lower, because programming, if done incorrectly, can be a lot worse than anything and a lot more dangerous than what you see at a Nike studio / an Orange Theory or F45. But I do think quality CrossFit programming and quality workouts it's still the best way in the world to work out.
I feel like most of these, and I can't, you're right. We got to look at the programming and see what they do. But if it's anything like most of the boot campy things that I've seen at other places, and I've never gone, I just watch people post their workouts all the time at these different places on Instagram, and I watch them, and some of them are my friends. And these dudes are using like 20, 25 pound dumbbells, and they're doing bicep curls, and then they're doing some shoulder press with it, and then some
pec deck.
Right, pec, yeah. And then I'm watching, and then they do these half-ass burpees where they're just kind of jumping, and then but not all the way down, and just kind of jumping around, and and then they do the battle ropes, and then they do this, and I watch it, and I'm like, this is better than nothing. But this is all training wheel stuff. Like, you can't really develop a lot of functional fitness with this. Now, you're not going to hurt yourself, probably.
That's true.
And you're not going to but you're not going to really sort of push yourself to the potential you can. Now, in CrossFit, done well, you can achieve way more than I think in any other fitness modality. Well, otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it.
Absolutely.
However, there are no training wheels. Anytime you engage in something where you are reaching a higher level of your potential, you do have to be very knowledgeable. You do have to work with people. You do have to be, you can't just go in eyes closed. I feel like we've done a really good job. I watch our new athletes at our gym, and I think we're doing a better job now than we ever have in the past 10 years, taking people to the next level in a better, more fit way than anything that I've seen at these boot camp / high intensity studios, personal training type stuff.
Yep.
But there's always going to be a market for the person who's like, I need the glitz, I need safe, I need, whatever.
And I bet these places, because of Nike, I bet they're going to be beautiful. I bet they're going to be awesome to look at.
Look gorgeous to me.
Yeah.
But, it's just, I have a hard time with the kind of programming that they do at all of these places. I feel like it's CrossFit light on so many levels.
Right.
And Nicole Carroll has said this, like, they're stealing from us.
Right.
Like, this stuff
absolutely
is BS, watered down CrossFit.
Yep.
And you know what? Go to the well and drink the real stuff. Don't drink the fake S that these guys are selling.
Right.
Because this is what they're doing and trying to, remarket to you as something that's new or that they're doing better. No, we did it first, and we're doing it better than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what these Nike Studio also doesn't have, and I'll admit I am such a big supporter of the Open and the games, but we have that. Nobody else has that. Nike, and that, if done correctly, can tie everything together. The community, the fitness and sport variables. Your Nike Studio, they're not going to have that. Even if they come out with the Nike games, it's not going to be the same. It's just not. And this is why reason 107, why I think everyone should be doing the Open, affiliate owners should be pushing it. It's so unique. Nobody else has this stuff. And it could be even better if we get more people involved. And that's something that CrossFit affiliate owners, if you start to feel threatened by this, it's something you can cling to that others don't have. Again, you have to try and separate yourself. You have to try and show consumers, your members, prospective members, what makes you different. And group training to some people is group training, right? Whether they're drinking out of the rich well or the poor well, what Sam just talked about. We can't get that message into everyone's head. So you have to set yourself apart. And I think that and the CrossFit Journal, those are the two things. I know it sounds funny that those two, they're huge assets as an affiliate owner and as a coach that you have that these Nike studios and Nike trainers will not have. And if you haven't been a reader of the CrossFit Journal, I'm talking articles that were out 15, 20 years ago, you could easily lose yourself in them and start to fall in love with CrossFit all over again, and even give yourself a broader understanding of what this is and what it can be. And if you have that knowledge in your head and you support the Open and you are setting yourself on a different level, setting yourself up on a different level than a Nike training studio that has maybe some bells and whistles that you don't have. So again, I think that's something an affiliate owner and coach should lean into.
We have pro athletes in the games that are unlike any other fitness, anything else in the fitness industry.
True.
And we've always talked in the past couple of years, what was our peak? When we had them on ESPN, when we were seeing these people, when we had a whole sort of, we had momentum because one was feeding into the other. I really hope CrossFit HQ figures out how to work that. Nike, for what they've got, they have a lot of athletes. And if those athletes on every sport, golf, football, basketball, CrossFit, start pushing this Nike studio, which I don't know if they're going to plan on doing that, but they could cross-pollinate quite a bit.
I'll tell you what, all it takes is one of those games athletes to like open up their own.
Yeah.
And now they're running CrossFit classes.
That would hurt.
Like if a Noah Olson and Sarah Sigmundsdottir open up Nike Training Miami, I don't think he will, but you never know. Money talks, right? And they're doing CrossFit in that gym. They're just not calling it CrossFit. You know, they're doing thrusters and pull-ups and, you know, wall balls and handstand walks.
That hurts.
That would be the first sign of like, okay, like this needs, so I'm just saying, I think it's smart as an affiliate owner to look at this. What are you going to do if that happens? Let's try to figure that out now.
That would be tough because I would want to go there too.
Yeah, I know.
That would be something I would want to do.
Absolutely.
And Nike, if they're,
but that's the power of the marketing that you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why that's why LeBron James and
yeah,
you know, all these athletes, they have such pull on the market.
Yeah. So if Nike actually decides to go all in and starts pulling that stuff out, then CrossFit better watch out.
They're in trouble. Yeah,
that's really scary.
So again, you should start doing things now to combat this. So the conclusion here, affiliate owners, do you have a price? I actually texted an affiliate owner about this article when it came out. And I was like, imagine Nike comes in and tries to buy your gym. And he goes, how much? And, you know, again, I love the line, everyone has a price. In some cases it's true, some cases it's not. But in this one, I think everyone has a price. Like, would you sell it to Nike if they offered this to you? Could you ever see them coming in trying to buy, like, especially if they had, let's pretend they get Noah Olson to start endorsing this, and Matt Frazier, right? Nike athlete. Laura Horvath, Nike athlete. And again, they can still compete in the games. Like, they don't really have that much allegiance to CrossFit, I don't think.
Of course.
So, hey, we're just going to put more money in your pocket, own this gym and train here and market it for us. You know, now if Nike comes into a CrossFit Bison or CrossFit whatever, wherever you're at, and they say, hey, we're going to offer you this much money. You're no longer a CrossFit Bison. You're now Nike Training Studio, Midland Park. That's your identity. We're going to do this to this space. We're going to do this, but now we kind of split ownership with you. You know, you guys own 50%, we own 50%, or some sort of agreement. Do you have a price on that?
I'm sure you do.
And I think everyone should think about that.
What is your price?
I'm not telling you.
$1 million? $2 million?
10 million.
10 million? Dude, it's less than that. I guarantee
it's definitely less than that. He goes, let me look at my upcoming bills. All right, $18.
A latte plus, no. You know, these guys are expanding in different ways. Like, this is certainly a foray. They're experimenting.
Yeah.
They're going to do some research with this, see what goes. But they also have a Nike Training Club app. They have home workouts.
Ooh, there you are, the app.
I'm telling you, these guys are approaching it from every different vantage point.
You're going to die on that hill.
Dude.
Did you see who else just came out with an app?
Who else came out with
CompTrain.
Yes, a new app. Ben Bergeron was talking about how awesome this new app is.
Yep.
I am telling you that app space is going to be the next battleground. Whoever dominates that in the fitness industry is going to win the next generation of, you know, who's going to come out on top.
Who's going to be the next CrossFit, the fastest growing chain in business history.
For sure, because not only do you get a worldwide market with an app, but the data that you collect from this app will drive your bricks and mortar places, the revenue that you get from advertising, the data on every athlete or person who's working out. I don't get me started again on this.
No. I mean, down the road, I actually would like listening to you talk about this. So we'll do an episode on the app, and we'll send it to our buddy Don Fall. But listen, Nike is not dumb. They are trying all sorts of different things. Whatever sticks, they're going to run with. They just haven't decided right now, I think, what to do with this training studio.
But if they find that it is positive,
I think they're trying to get data.
yeah,
Really?
they are. And if it looks promising and they start moving all in, this would be the 900-pound gorilla that could smush us.
I don't have like very great business acumen, so you could take my word for a grain of salt. I think this is something. What's going on right now, I think it's something. I think Nike sees what CrossFit is. I think Nike sees that CrossFit can't hang on to a CEO to save their life right now. There is as much animosity towards CrossFit as there is support. Maybe I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of animosity towards CrossFit with loud talking heads. They are the minority, but it's a growing trend that it's just constantly being killed and crushed by a lot of people that have some loud voices and some followers, right? This could be them setting up for themselves at some point going in for the kill. And do they buy CrossFit at some point? Do they partner with CrossFit at some point? Do they sponsor the games? Those are all possibilities. But I think affiliate owners and people that work for CrossFit HQ at the top, this should put some urgency into whatever you're trying to do, because they are so big. And the second a big corporation like this gets momentum, you're toast. And local affiliates, I don't think you need to be that scared, but it's something that, because again, a lot of these CrossFit communities, like, you're good with or without the CrossFit name. And a lot of us support it out of loyalty. But so I think a lot of you guys are going to be fine, but CrossFit HQ, I'd be a little scared. And if you don't have a strong community, and you're just kind of like constantly going back and forth, ups and downs with the business, this is something I think you should start putting some attention to. And again, just create some urgency in what you're trying to accomplish.
TikTok.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to listen to the Herd Fit podcast. Be on the lookout for next week's episode.